Hey Capricorn, this is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here with a reading for you on finance. And this is a bonus reading. I mean, literally, I woke up and I was told you need to get a finance because this people in this time. During this time, seeing how the year went, it's really fundamental. So I'm reading for now, August, until the end of the year. How am I going to do that? Well, first of all, I'm focusing here for you, Capricorn, on this stone, this lovely stone. It's malachite and azurite. Malachite and azurite. And it's one of the most soothing such stones that you can have nearby. It's a very calming stone. Then I have the tarot deck called Intuiti. It's a creative type deck. It was fashioned and created by a group of researchers in a university in the north of Italy, in Milan. And I only have the major arcanas. I'm going to pull 3 and talk to you about those. Then I'll follow up with a universal tarot deck that is based on the Rider-Waite tradition. So let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Let's put them there. Get rid of these. This is a deck that has more than 78 cards. It's quite particular. So first I'll show you them and then we'll talk about them. This is the 20th major arcana. It's called the End of the World. Then I have the 8th major arcana, and it's called the Fall, like the autumn. And then I have 21, and this is called Totality. So let's see what these, what the relevance is here for you with your finances. So we are on the 20th, and this is the end of the world. Okay. It's sort of a moment when we're called upon to judge our existence, how we are doing on our path. It's sort of we could say a spiritual apocalypse. It's like a reckoning. The trumpet sounding and calls you to make choices and ways of life. It asks you to call into question what you have done so far. And this card introduces a truth that is difficult for you to accept, Capricorn, because it means to deconstruct. It means to decompose, deconstruct, throw down our entire world. It reminds us, and I use this analogy when I see this card, it reminds us of a moment. Alcoholics, every now and then, they have a very lucid moment when they're clear and when they observe their situation with a really stark reality, with a yielding judgment, and they contemplate their deep faults. If we have the strength to stand the comparison, this vision, this clear vision of reality becomes the door towards a rebirth, really. It becomes the beginning to a new life. And this means instincts, moving on your instincts that are inserted in your choices without being fearful, without having fear, in a very clear way and with a master plan. And from there, you can trace the roots of a new path for yourself. And finally, we know what we want. This breaking down and deconstructing your reality, Capricorn, allows you to understand what you want and what you don't want, what we can do and what we cannot do. We're aware of our impulses, our future, our horizons, and we walk with sort of a self-assurance and passion. And the passion that allows us to understand that this new path is truly ours. Okay, so that is the end of the world. This is followed up by the fall. Now, the fall is particular. I always use the story about Icarus, who rises, this god that rises to the sky on his wings with feathers and wax to hold the wings together. He flies towards the sun, and the sun melts this harness made of wax and makes him fall to the ground. You can see all of the wings, and he falls to the ground. This is sort of a rule of cause and effect, which makes us understand that everyone gets what they deserve. And everything that goes up sooner or later, comes down. What increases must decrease in the end. What lives is destined to die. There are always columns and rings we have to pass through. There are hoops we have to go through. It's sort of a consequential logic that draws a line in the sand between what comes first and what has to follow. And on this line, on this rope, like a tightrope walker, is the present. And the present finds its equilibrium. This card is telling you that you need to live in the present and abandon all of those negative choices you've made that didn't bring you anything. Financial choices. Now, this card is the totality. It's unity. It's completeness. It's fullness. It's the notion of the whole that dances and sings and consecrates the joy of living. It's sort of like Zorba the Greek, who's singing and trying to reach in eternity. It's an immortal happy ending of fairy tales. They live happily ever after. And it's the entry into paradise. We're in the front of a complete success that doesn't restrict itself to material or spiritual planes. But it comes from the fusion of both the material and the spiritual and the immortal. What does this mean for you, Capricorn? It means that money is not only something we pay our bills with, but it's something that brings us spiritual joy. And it has a meaning. This way, our finances have a meaning. It's sort of an analogy of happiness. The joy for joy, which goes back to joy. It's joy that begets joy. Okay, so this totality is pushing you, Capricorn, to understand that our joy becomes joy and begets joy once we are able to see the spiritual worth of our spending, of our making, of our circulating money. This is really a complete transformation, Capricorn. The cards are announcing to you a transformation of the way you conceive of money. And this seems to be a common message that I've had so far for many, many signs. The notion of buying, selling, making, spending, giving is all about transformation. Let's see what these tarot talk about and see if I can read the integration here. So the first here is a Three of Swords. Three of Swords. Then we've got another three. The Three of Cups. And it's very interesting to see these two threes back to back, from heartache to, from the daggers going to the sky, Then we've got the Four of Swords, a card that always talks of timing and waiting. We've got another three. We've got the Empress. The three here is three cards, three. It's a very highly spiritual message, Capricorn. I don't have to underline it and shout it to you. You can see what I'm trying to say. It is all about your spiritual wealth. You will be receiving spiritual wealth when you're able to combine the spiritual and the material. And it all becomes one spiritual message. Here we have this Four of Coins. Now, the Four of Coins is typically a miserly card in this type of deck. I read it as you come burning, like the phoenix arising from its ashes. But we will see in relation to the other cards. And then we have the Five of Cups. It's as if, all in all, in the start of this period, August, September, October, November, and December. It's really a 6-month period that I'm just now starting to read about, the second half of the year. But it looks like you are losing your faith and trust in the universe. You know, you're losing your hope, faith, trust that it's going to be all right. It's just going to be all right. Now, this it's interesting to see this 3, this dire pain of the 3 coinciding, mirroring the Empress, which is a card of extreme creativity, turning your pain to passion. This is the message here. Then we've got this 3 of Cups mirroring the 4 of Coins. Now, let's say that you are counting your pennies. Let's give this card this universal meaning. Yes, you're holding on to things because you're worried you're losing it. You're really losing money. But it's telling you, the cards are telling you, think of what has filled your cups so far. You won't fall apart for a mere moment in the face in relation to infinity. This is just a temporary moment, Capricorn. Then we have this 4. Now, of course, there's the 3 here, and it's followed up by the 4. You just wait, it's saying, Capricorn. Just wait. And this is mirroring the 5. Now you're looking at these cups that aren't all half full. Many of them are half empty. Look, it's a waiting game. And the cards here are telling you, Capricorn, just hold on. Just hold on. Because as soon as we get out of under these clouds, you will be seeing that sun. Now, what is interesting here as well is the knighting, the 2 down and 1 over relations in the cards, just like the chess moves. And I do see this 3 and 4, as I pointed out. There's a progression here, 3 to 4. Your sadness and your heartache. It's really a heartache. And many of you, Capricorn, may be feeling, having some issues with your blood pressure in this period due to your condition of your financial condition. I don't doubt that. These cards speak very clearly, but they are also telling you a time of rest. Take this as a time of rest. Now, 2 over and 1 up also brings me to 3, coinciding with the 3. They all are a triangle. These 3s form a triangle, a holy triangle, a sacred triangle. I can't stress this enough for you, Capricorn. There is a sacred triangle of faith bringing you what? Bringing you the totality. Remember, bringing you joy in finances. The sacred triangle of faith, making it possible for you to feel joy in your finances, bringing you renewed faith. Then we've got these three knighting the 4 and the 4, which is so interesting. This is telling you the miserly, if we want to get rid of that miserly and arise from our ashes, because we will be burning with that head of yours, Capricorn, now that you're losing your faith. It's telling you, okay, wait it out, because times will be changing. Times will be changing. And then we've got the creative element here with the Empress telling you, look, you want to see the cups half empty, go ahead. But raise your gaze just a moment and know that the sacred triangle will be bringing you added trust in the universe. Now, I do hope this was of help to you. I'm going to ask you to write underneath the video and see if there's one aspect or several aspects of this reading that can help you in some way, that does resonate with you in some way. And invite you, if you have time on Sunday, to join me live on my channel I will be having an open Q&A session and answering questions, your questions live, questions that arrive from the chat. Also on the 22nd of August, I will be channeling Sushant Sig Rajput, the young actor who recently passed away, actor and dancer. And initially it was believed he committed suicide, but very recently, as recent as this week, there have been more investigations and things have emerged that bring us to think it was not at all a suicide. Come and join me. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, Capricorn friends, until we read together again. Bye-bye.